Hey guys, this is Courtney. I am live. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome. As you hop in, let me know who you are, where you're coming in from. I would love to be able to give you a shout out. And so talking today about the blog versus the capture page debate. And actually, I want to make sure that I'm live. So guys, as you hop in, let me know that you're on. Oh, hey, how are you guys? Hi, Curtis. How are you? Hi, Marilyn. How are you? I'm going to say hi to a few people before diving into the training. So hi, Sally. Thank you guys for hopping on. So excited that you're here. Happy to be training today. So this is your, hi, Terry. Hi, Teresa. Your 15 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education to get your day started right. So I'm going to be doing a couple things in this training, kind of stepping back a little bit, maybe for people that are not, that are in the Elite Marketing Pro community, but maybe don't know what a blog versus a capture page is yet. So I'm going to be training a little bit on some of the basics. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Jen. How are you? Thank you guys for hopping on. And so I'm going to be doing that and then kind of talking about the benefits of the capture page and the benefits of the blog. And then you may have seen in one of the videos that Fernie posted that I did a bit of a hybrid strategy. So I'm going to kind of take you through that process and explain why I did it that way and how it can be beneficial. And I'm really hoping that this will help you to think about your marketing and, in more of an effective way. So hi, Krista. How are you? Thank you guys for hopping on. Let me know where you're coming in from. Also, I would love to, Chuck from South Carolina. Very cool. Hi, Mary. How are you? So I'm going to dive right into the content. So guys, and let me know, blog versus capture page. So, and I want to get a feel for what you guys are doing. I know that Elite Marketing Pro teaches blog posts, and as we go throughout the training, you'll absolutely know that that's probably the right way to go. But just want to see, drop me a 2 if anyone's going using a straight capture page or how you're doing that process, because I would love to, get a feel for what people are actually doing in their marketing and how, and definitely drop me questions too. And after this live broadcast, I can absolutely answer those. So diving in, what is a capture page? So most of you guys have probably seen capture pages. They're fairly simple, but essentially it's a way to bring leads off of the Facebook platform or off of any social media platform to your content and onto your list. So we constantly want to be building our list, bringing new leads through our funnels, all of those things, right? So what does a capture page look like? So, we basically have, a headline, right? So telling people, making some type of big promise. So what are those people, going to receive when they opt in to get the content or to get the information that they're looking for to solve some type of problem for them? Usually there's a subheadline, there's an image. Usually, I always recommend when you do an image, if you're in the community and, driving traffic through to the boot camp, there is a lovely boot camp image. You can use that. The other thing that I like to do is actually use some type of lifestyle image on the capture page itself. I think it's a really good way to, connect with your audience and have them see in some type of lifestyle photo, whether you're on vacation with your children or something about your life that's a little bit more personal that they can connect with in sort of an emotional way, because I think it's really important that people, that leads coming through your capture page understand that you're not just another marketer. You're a person, you have a family, and all of that is really important. And it's important when people are deciding whether they want to give you their email address, right? And that email address is absolutely personal information, right? So they're making a choice about, if they want to trust you enough with their information, right? So really important that, I always put a lifestyle image. The other thing that it does really well is brand yourself, right? So, you can customize your capture page so it doesn't look so standard and it looks like it's something that you created that's about you, that's about your lifestyle, that's about your personality. So really, really important. And it's important when people are deciding whether or not they trust you, whether or not they really want to opt in for information. So really, really important there. And then what is a blog? Obviously, we most of us know what a blog content is about. But basically it's a piece of content providing value to people, right? So, on a particular subject matter, on a particular topic. And what it does is it primes people to, understand what they're opting in for, and it gives them a lot of value, right? So I'm going to kind of talk about, the benefits of a capture page, and I've done both. So I've run to capture page content, leads right to capture page, and then leads to blog posts as well. And I'll talk a little bit about my results and what I've seen with those two things. But so benefits of a capture page. So what are you going to get with a capture page? Now, let me know what you guys think. What's more likely to happen when you are sending traffic right to a CP or a capture page? You are likely to get more leads for your costs or for your ad budget. And a lot of times, it's really interesting because what you're also going to see is a lower cost per lead. Right? So, there's less friction there. So versus people having to read blog content and, really going through an entire process and spending some time, reading. And that's really important. So what you're going to find with a capture page, if you're driving traffic directly from, your ad to a capture page, is that you're going to see a lower cost per lead. So if your ultimate goal is to grow your list and grow it really fast, a capture page option might actually be a good option. But I'm kind of going to warn you about, some drawbacks to that as well. So what's also going to happen is you may find that you have a lower quality lead coming through. Sometimes people are looking just for the free content. They're not going to take any other action or any other step towards whether that's upgrading or taking another action or anything like that. They're just not. And that's really, really important to think about. So how do you want to build your list? What types of people do you want to have on your list? So do you want to have fewer leads that are more qualified, or do you want to have more leads that are less qualified? Now, that's a decision that every marketer has to make. What normally happens is that it's a combination of both, right? So absolutely happens. But I want to give you an option that if you are directing your traffic right to a capture page, a way to warm those people up actually on the page. So, and drop me a 2 if you've ever done this. Have you ever put a video on your capture page? I would be curious to know if people have done this or not done this, because it's really interesting. So what that will do is potentially warm people up to who you are even before they've opted in for the content. So if you want to sort of do a hybrid approach, maybe have more leads coming through your funnel, but you want a way to warm those people up. So you're not just doing, okay, Lewis says he's done that. Okay, Thomas. So a lot of people have, instead of just using an image on the capture page where, somebody can see your face, see your lifestyle, a little bit of your lifestyle, whatever. But they don't hear your voice and they don't, get some additional content. And I've tested that strategy before. It's worked really well for me. And what it does is just, it gives people some additional context for who you are as a marketer. So it's really, really important. But you also want to think about when you're creating this video, you want to think about what the people coming through your funnel know, who they are, and what information they have about what you're talking to them about. So, for instance, if you are, targeting network marketers, if you are, wanting to help network marketers build their businesses online, you have to think about what their language is, what they know about the online space, what they may not know. That's super, super important. So when you're putting this video together, I wouldn't use any words that they're not going to understand, or terminology that the people aren't going to understand, because that won't help to get people further in the process or to help them opt in. It will actually probably do the opposite of what you're trying to do. So I recommend in the video on the capture page, just build some rapport with those people. Maybe tell them a story about what's happened for you. Kind of share their pain, go through the, process of empathy, and really kind of try to connect with them at an emotional type of level, if that makes sense. And that will really go a long way to warming people up. And again, that's if you're driving traffic right to a capture page. So there's another interesting sort of concept called, drop me a 3 if you guys know what this is. It's called an invisible funnel. And it starts on the capture page, and I've tested this strategy a little bit, and it's really interesting. So what it does is, we normally say with capture pages, make them as enticing as possible so that people want to opt in. They want to see what's on the other side. And that's absolutely true. However, another strategy that you could potentially use is, again, it's called an invisible funnel. And what it does is it gives those leads, it actually gives them a solution or part of a solution on the capture page. So it gives, it usually gives them like a partial solution, not a full solution, right? They're not going to solve all of their business problems just from a capture page on a video. But what it does do is build some rapport and build some trust with those leads. So they are thinking to themselves, oh, wow, I'm watching this video on this page, and this person is already giving me either a solution or a partial solution to my problem. So what tends to happen if you do it in the correct way, and I'm not an expert in invisible funnels, but I think it's such an interesting strategy, so I want to talk about it. But if you do it in the right way, what happens is that for that lead, the decision to opt in becomes sort of irrelevant. Like, it becomes a no-brainer for them. They want to opt in. They trust what you're telling them. You've already given them a solution, and they are much more likely to be in a place where they want to continue in the process with you. So Hannah's heard of invisible funnel. Okay, good. Yeah, guys, drop me 3s if you have, or if you've ever tested them before and ever tried them, drop me a 4, because I've tested them. It's very, they're interesting, and you have to be doing them in the right way. But, okay, so driving traffic right to a capture page. Is this a good strategy? Now, there are benefits, and I will tell you, when I started with EMP, that's basically all I did. I just said to myself, let me just not bother with the blog part of it, which was probably not the best idea when I started. However, it did build my list fairly quickly at the budget that I was at the time, so that was helpful. But I want to talk about it from a Facebook perspective. So what is happening when a marketer drives right to a capture page? So you want to be really careful with Facebook, because what is Facebook's goal? It is to have quality content on their platform. It is to make the user experience the best that it can possibly be. It's adding value to people's day, because what does Facebook want? They want people to stay on their platform as long as humanly possible. So that's their goal, right? And really to give people valuable content, to solve problems, to give solutions, all of that stuff. So I want you to think about an ad to a capture page and whether that's providing the most value to people. And I will argue that it's probably not. And you don't want to be in a place where Facebook shuts you down because you're driving right to a capture page. And I will say I did that for probably 6 to 8 months in EMP, and I was never shut down, but maybe I was lucky. I'm not sure. The one thing I would suggest if you do decide to go right to a capture page is to have some type of to have very valuable content in the ad copy itself. So whether it's you're telling a story, whether it's you're telling them exactly what they're going to get in the actual ad copy before they even hit the capture page. I think that's helpful. And I think it's, providing value, providing quality to people, instead of just having, a 3-4 sentence ad going right to a capture page. I probably would not suggest that. But okay, now I kind of want to dive into blog content and what driving to a blog is going to give you. So guys, hit the like button, hit the love if this is valuable and you feel like you're getting some good information here. I really hope you are. So, okay, a blog will potentially give you fewer leads. And why is that? Because somebody has to spend time reading the entire blog post, especially if it's a long blog post, more than 2,500 words, something like that. So what you're often going to find with a blog post is that some people will want to read the content. Some people will not want to read the content at all, right? So they may just click away. But what you're going to see is a higher cost per lead, potentially. Now, if it's an amazing blog post, let's say you wrote it yourself, it's super punchy, the copy is amazing, you may not find that to be the case. But in general, what I find is that it's much easier to get a lower cost per lead with a capture page than it is with the blog post. Now, that doesn't mean, because it's a lower cost per lead, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's better, right? So you might find, again, it goes to the quality versus quantity debate. You really want to, the people that have read blog content, that have taken the time, they've really taken investment in themselves to spend the time to read the content. Everybody's busy, we all have busy lives, but to spend 15, 20 minutes reading blog content, that person is a lot more qualified than someone just landing on a capture page and opting in. So really important to think about that. You're also potentially going to get people that are more likely to take another step in the process or another action, right? So, maybe they're interested in your personal coaching, or maybe they're interested in going to a higher level of, the products that you're promoting, etc. And, when they come through blog content, they're more likely to do that. So it's just food for thought to think about in your own marketing, and how you want to, the experience of the traffic that you're bringing through, if that makes sense. So lastly, I'm going to talk about my hybrid strategy and how I came to come up with it, why I decided to do that, and some of the benefits that I've seen because I've done that. So I use a different software than EMP, and I was trying to figure out, because capture pages had always worked for me, and I was trying to figure out a way to keep my capture page, but also to give my traffic and my leads coming through a lot more value, because I really wanted to be able to do that. I didn't want to just bring people to a capture page, have them opt in. I wanted to give them value before they even opted in. So I was building the know, like, and trust factor with those people. That was really important to me. And I decided that as a marketer, I really wanted to be doing that, right? So I was testing and tweaking and trying to figure out, a blog that was working and, what wasn't working at the same time, which I suggest always doing that, constantly testing new blog posts, new strategies that could potentially work. But what I found was, here's what I did. I actually recreated a blog post on my capture page. And what I did was, I also wanted to get to the place where if someone didn't want to read my blog content, I had an opt-in box at the very top. And then, so obviously those people are less qualified. And then I also had an opt-in box at the very bottom of the blog content. And my thinking was, I wanted to increase the number of people that were opting in. So obviously the people at the top, they're less qualified, but I still wanted to be able to capture those people as a lead, right? Because I would rather have them on my list than not on my list. And what was interesting and what I found is my opt-in rate. So a normal opt-in rate for a blog is between 10 and 15%. 15% is pretty high. What I found is that with my hybrid strategy, I got my opt-in rate up to 30%. And now, again, granted, some of those people may not be as qualified. However, I have a combination of very qualified people because they read the entire piece of content, some less qualified people. But what's interesting is I can market to all those people, right? So there are people that are on my list that I've now captured that I might not have otherwise captured if I didn't offer an opt-in at the very top. So that was part of my thinking. That was part of my strategy. And, you know, I talked to some people that said, oh, well, this would be really confusing for people. But the thing is, it seems to work. And that's what you always need to be thinking about, which is testing and tweaking and figuring out strategies that work for you. Because what works for one person does not work for another person. And I've seen this time and time again, you know, with copywriting and with, you know, different things. So it's important to make something your own, really, really important. I mean, the other thing I will say is if you send somebody to a blog on a website, there's a lot more distraction there. They can click on different banners. They can click on, you know, different sections of your website, etc. What's interesting about the hybrid approach is that the lead only has two choices. Their choices are to read the full content and opt in, or to read part of the content and opt in, or to click away. There's no other like distractions or, you know, anything that would just sort of inhibit them from opting in or consuming the content. And I also thought that was really important because, you know, you're basically taking them through a very, very, very long capture page. So that's kind of my message for today, guys. I hope it was super helpful and it gave you a good perspective about how to think about your marketing. If you're new to Elite Marketing Pro, you know, go to elitemarketingpro.com where you can sign up for the recruiting bootcamp and a great way to learn how to use social media to grow your business. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for hopping on, everyone. Bye.